All right, man. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back, guys. If you're new here, make sure you like and obviously subscribe, comment, do all that good stuff, man. In today's video, I'm actually gonna go ahead and I'm gonna learn a little bit, man. I know for most of my videos it's been like reactions, but today we're gonna do a separate video, man. Today I want to learn a little bit about specifically Africa, you know what I mean? Like Burkina Faso. That's exactly what I'm on. I want to learn more about the country and the guy, the leader, man, the president. Ibrahim. Hold on. Ibrahim Traoré. So, hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is a video dedicated to this is a video about Ibrahim Traoré. So let's get straight to it, man. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, man. And yeah, let's do this, man.
Amid a wave of growing unrest in Burkina Faso, a relatively unknown army captain named Ibrahim Traoré took control of the country through a military coup. At the time, his name meant little to those outside the region. But in the years since, Traoré's profile has risen rapidly. His rise has drawn frequent parallels to Thomas Sankara, the iconic Burkinabe revolutionary who in 1983 came to power as a young officer with a radical message of self-reliance, anti-imperialism and African pride. Like Sankara, Traoré has embraced the imagery and language of liberation, positioning himself as a modern-day continuation of that revolutionary lineage. In this episode of African Biographics, we'll look at the story of why Captain Ibrahim Traoré has become one of the most talked about and perhaps most admired leaders on the African continent today. Captain Ibrahim Traoré didn't emerge from the typical circles of power. Before enlisting in the military, he studied.
Before I even get any further, shout out to AB, man. That's where I got the video. I'll put the link in the description, man, so that you guys can actually go check out the channel. They have a lot of videos and I know you guys will love it. So
geology at the University of Ouagadougou, but it wasn't academia that shaped his worldview. It was the battlefield. During deployments, Traoré witnessed a striking divide. While junior troops faced relentless ambushes in harsh terrain, their commanders remained behind, removed from danger, in offices cooled by air conditioning. Over time, frustration gave way to disillusionment, not only with the military command, but with a state that seemed indifferent to its own suffering citizens. In September 2022, Traoré acted. He led a coup that toppled Lieutenant Colonel Paul-Henri Damiba, himself a product of an earlier coup that ousted President Roch Kabore. In his first address to the nation, Captain Traoré spoke plainly. Burkina Faso, he declared, was in crisis, overwhelmed by insecurity, a collapsing health system, poor infrastructure, and growing unrest. His rejection of conventional politics resonated deeply, even beyond Burkina Faso's borders. Though unelected, Traoré's support soared, and part of that can be explained by something simple: his age. At just 37, Ibrahim Traoré is among the world's youngest leaders. Damn. Though he isn't a spring chicken, he is far closer in age to the average African than most of his counterparts. On a continent where the median age is 19 and many heads of state are well into their 70s or 80s, Traoré represents a generational shift. For young Africans, he doesn't have to say much. His presence alone is a statement. Captain Traoré also knows the power of imagery. In Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso's capital, billboards show him commissioning factories and meeting foreign dignitaries. At the January 2025 inauguration of Ghana's President John Mahama, Captain Traoré arrived with his signature red beret, military gloves, and a sidearm, greeted by loud applause from the crowd. At the same time, Captain Traoré's rise in popularity has unfolded alongside a broader political realignment in Africa. This realignment is marked by growing rejection of Western dominance and a renewed embrace of African sovereignty. Shortly after assuming power, he declined financial support from institutions like the IMF and the World Bank. This then sent a clear message: Burkina Faso would not accept external loans tied to foreign conditions. For many across the continent, it was a symbolic break from economic systems long criticized for enforcing austerity measures while offering little in return. Captain Traoré also capitalized on anti-French sentiment. The captain accused Paris of having enabled instability and also cast his predecessor, Henri Damiba, as being too closely aligned with French interests. Within months after assuming power, Captain Traoré ordered French troops to leave the country entirely, a move that both shocked observers and thrilled a domestic audience eager for change. And thus, whether denouncing foreign interference, critiquing neoliberal economic models, or invoking Pan-African ideals, Captain Traoré has been deliberate in shaping his identity. In fact, the captain has drawn constant parallels to Burkina Faso's iconic leader, Captain Thomas Sankara. Sankara, who came to power through a 1983 military-led revolution, was known for his radical ideas. Some of these include promoting civic engagement, gender equality, environmental responsibility, and economic independence. Thomas Sankara opposed foreign domination in all its forms and urged African nations to chart their own path. In this regard, Captain Traoré has aligned himself with that legacy. His early decisions after assuming office reflected a return to Sankara-style governance. For instance, he reversed salary rises for senior officials, rejected presidential privileges, and retained the modest rank of captain. In Burkina Faso and across the continent, these gestures were read as being sincere and also seen as a break from the old ruling class and a signal of humility from Captain Traoré. Captain Traoré has also emphasized domestic production, national pride, and a tough stance on corruption. When he took power, he made sweeping promises, including plans for a nuclear power facility as well as a factory to produce electric vehicles, proposals that would have seemed implausible under earlier regimes. On the regional front, the captain deepened ties with Mali and Niger, both under military rule, forming the Alliance of Sahel States, a coalition defined by its anti-French position and ambition for self-determination. Additionally, the captain also broke off Burkina Faso's relations with ECOWAS, the West African regional bloc. The captain also indicated his desire to abandon the CFA franc, a colonial-era currency still used in much of West Africa. Back on the domestic front, Captain Traoré has moved to reclaim control over the country's natural wealth. The captain nationalized 2 gold mines and also banned the export of raw gold to Europe. In its place, the captain commissioned the construction of Burkina Faso's first state-owned refinery capable of processing 150 tons of gold each year. In a speech made in October 2024, Traoré went further, warning that some foreign mining permits would be revoked, though he did not specify which companies. He even went on to say, and I quote, "We know how to mine our gold, so why should we hand it over to multinationals?" Food security has also become a national priority. Through an extensive agricultural offensive, his government has banned the export of staples like rice and distributed free tractors to farmers. Results have been mixed so far, but the initiative's symbolism of turning inward to feed the nation is clear. To add on to all of this, Captain Traoré's fight against corruption has arguably been one of his most visible campaigns. High-profile arrests and public trials have drawn both praise and criticism. While one Western diplomat likened the proceedings to a Stalinist show trial, other local journalists offered a much simpler explanation, saying that people in Burkina Faso are now afraid. If you are caught on the wrong side, the military regime will humiliate you.
For real?
Captain Ibrahim Traoré's journey to power and his effort to keep it has been far from simple. In late September 2023, not even a year after seizing control, he faced a serious threat to his rule. A coup attempt was thwarted just in time, resulting in the arrest of several top officers. Among those detained were members of elite security units, including the Special Forces and the National Gendarmerie's Intervention Squad. The seriousness of the plot prompted an immediate and sweeping response from the state and triggered a noticeable shift in how Captain Traoré would govern moving forward. In the immediate aftermath of the attempted coup, Ouagadougou saw heightened security, armored vehicles deployed throughout key locations, night traffic restrictions imposed, and a marked increase in state surveillance. Captain Traoré also launched a major overhaul of the military and intelligence networks. Security structures that once operated with some independence, such as the National Gendarmerie and the Special Forces, were put directly under his control. For some of his critics and detractors, however, this turn of events reflects a descent into authoritarianism. But for many of his backers, Captain Traoré is seen as a leader under siege, someone fighting on multiple fronts, trying not only to reform the country but to stay alive while doing it. Well, since that attempted coup in 2023, rumors of further plots and assassination attempts have persisted. Some appear to have had substance, while
You know what's crazy? It always be like this. Like when you have a good leader and when there's good leadership, bro, it's always somebody trying to, attempt a coup. Like somebody always trying to shut down the president, shut down the leader. They always be trying to kill them, bro. And it's crazy when it never works out,
while others remain unconfirmed. On April 1, 2025, Captain Traoré delivered a speech that drew national and international attention. Referencing the assassination of Thomas Sankara in 1987, Captain Traoré warned of what he described as a coordinated effort to repeat those events, this time against him. Without naming names, he accused foreign actors of orchestrating a plot to remove him from office. When he first took office, Captain Traoré pledged to return the country to civilian rule by 2024. That commitment has since failed. The current roadmap suggests he could remain in power until 2029, a prospect that has raised concerns among observers both domestically and abroad. Despite this, popular support for Traoré shows little sign of waning. In fact, surveys suggest his popularity has been growing. A recent survey by Afrobarometer found that nearly 2/3 of Burkinabe believe the military is justified in stepping in when elected leaders misuse their power. Endorsement of military-led governance has also surged, rising from just 24% in 2012 to around 66% in present day. The survey was conducted while Burkina Faso was already under military rule, and thus it reflects not just tolerance for Traoré's leadership, but a broadening sense of acceptance and even legitimacy. For many in the country, Traoré's administration, though not democratic, is seen as being corrective and as a response to years of failed civilian leadership and persistent insecurity in the country. Don't forget to like and share the video if you enjoyed it. Thank you all for tuning in. This has been Tatenda for African Biographics. Until next time, cheers.
I'm not gonna lie,
have a good one.
I'm not gonna lie though, shout out to African Biographics, man. I've learned a little bit, you know what I mean? I still need to watch more videos and read more about this. But yeah, man, shout out to this channel, and obviously I'm very, 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 very happy and proud to have such a leader in Africa, you know what I mean? And yeah, man, I don't know, let me know in the comment section. I want to learn more, you know what I mean? Let me know in the comment section, bro. Yeah.